cement continuing to outperform. Sudarshan is back with us. Also joining us on the show is Dilip Bhatt. Dilip, cement have been a big outperformer. Sudarshan spoke about it earlier in the show. Do you think that's bottomed out and is now going to be a favorite sector from here on?
Well, I think not just cement. I think most of the sectors are at the moment trading significantly ahead of their underlying fundamentals. But we all have that optimism that gradually the GDP growth of 7.5 to 8% will be reclaimed over the next couple of years. So with that perspective, with which all of us are really moving, I think cement really remains in the radar because they don't really have any great competition from overseas, and it's only the domestic producers. So I think once this particular overall engine of economic growth is put in motion, I think we all expect that the multiplier impact to be felt more in cement and steel, and more so cement. So I think that being the perspective, I think cement certainly remains on the radar, and it's a sector to be owned under any circumstances.
Okay, Sudarshan, a word on ICICI Bank. Has it put correction behind it? It was a meaningful correction in this one, but for last 2 or 3 days has been seeing quite a bit of buying.
Yeah, and it was a meaningful correction, Anuj, in the bank Nifty also, when we compare it to the Nifty. And it does appear that banks have put this correction behind them. It's never easy to say that the low is in place, that we will make lifetime new highs. We don't know that. But it's much easier to say what we should be, how we should be trading. And for a short-term trader, the positioning in ICICI Bank should be on the long side.
And what about HDFC, Sudarshan?
Oh, that was a call in the morning. We said it's at the lows, buy it in the morning, and you are literally getting it at support. There's a lot more. If the Nifty is going to go up, that's an if. HDFC is going to be an outperformer. So you just stay with a long position.
All right, gentlemen, stay with us. We're going to get some insight into what's going on in dealing rooms this day of big recovery. Nimesh, what are you picking up?
Hi, Meghna. The large part of the rally today is largely fueled by short covering, is what I understand. But in the second half, at least, there are some incremental buying as well. So maybe, you might see FIs on the net buy figure in today's trade. So that's the broad sense that across the board you've seen short covering and some bit of incremental buying by the larger institutions. Given the global backdrop and the broad sense is that if the global markets are supportive, there is a good chance that the Nifty will find a very good strong support at around the 70-100 level from where it's bounced back. So that's the base support for the Nifty in the near term. For next week and for the near term, the broad sense is earnings will take a center stage, and of course the two state elections, the outcome which will come next week. So these are the two important events to watch out. But the broad sense is 70-100 seems to be a very good support now, and dealers are watching out for 80-100, 80-50 as the next resistance level on the Nifty. But broadly, as far as today's trade is concerned, the major part of the rally was led by short covering, and the second half saw some bit of incremental buying.
All right, Nimesh, thanks very much. Let's head out to Pankaj Jain. He's got a list of what you should buy or sell in these last 5 minutes of trade for a reverse trade tomorrow. Pankaj, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I think from levels below 50 DMA to levels inching towards 20 DMA, that is quite a strong rally today. And though lot many stocks qualified that BTST call, two stocks which I have identified, one is DLF. DLF, in spite of all the negatives with respect to political controversy, court cases, competition commission penalties, it has that intrinsic value, and that value lies somewhere between 150 and 200. And what we have seen over last 1.5 years, that 140, 135, 140 seems to be very strong support, and stocks tends to bounce back 15 to 20% from those kind of levels. And taking that as background, we believe that DLF would move by another 10 to 15 rupees in coming days, and the kind of positive momentum and volumes that have been seen in the stock, we believe this is a strong candidate for that BTST call. Apart from that, Zee Entertainment, that is the second call. This stock was underperforming vis-a-vis other media stocks and was stuck in that 280 to 310 kind of zone. And with stock being added into Nifty now, I think that has given the fresh catalyst, and stock is trading at decade plus high levels, and we believe that this is headed to much higher levels, and positive momentum that has been seen, the volume breakout that has been seen, we believe this is a very strong candidate for the typical BTST call.
All right, thanks very much for that.
Well, lots of shares buzzing in trade today. Varinder here with his list of shares that have been buzzing.
Senthil, I'm focusing on all the paint stocks. With the crude falling down, look at Shalimar Paints up nearly 15%, Berger Paints up nearly 6-7%, Asian Paints up nearly 3-4%, all the paint companies are buzzing today. So the gainers in the last hour, look at the charts, intraday charts clearly of NDTV up 15%, NCC up 13%, Somany Ceramics up 7%, Trident up nearly 7%, JSW Energy has just shot in the last half an hour up nearly 6%, SKS, PFC both up nearly 5%, and OBC is the strongest among all the PSU bank stocks, up nearly 7%. All the banking stocks, just put your finger on United Bank of India, Andhra Bank, Bank of India, and of course Federal Bank is up. There's something happening in JB Group clearly. JP Associates is up nearly 8% for the week. That is last 3 days. The stock has gained 20%. JP Infra up 5%. JP Power up 4%. Monsanto is clearly trading up 10%. Escorts after the company gave that VRS up nearly 6.5%. Future Lifestyle after the preferential allotment to promoters and investors up nearly 5%. Den Networks, which clearly has been underperforming, up 5% after the large deal on the exchanges. Keosaram Industries, where the talk is going on that the company wants to exit Birla Tyres, up nearly 7%. SD Aluminium, which was falling down the last few days, is up nearly 13% today. And all the infra stocks, especially the mid cap and small cap, SPML Infra, Simplex Infra, Shriram EPC up nearly 5%, and all the auto ancillary stocks, whether it's MM Forging up 14%, GMT Auto up 10%, Rico Auto up 9%, Sona Koyo up 7%.
Right. As you were speaking, Varinder, we reclaimed 79.50 and managed to stay above that. Anuj, last 2 minutes of markets trading, 79.50 back.
Yeah, the skeptics would say that didn't close at day's high point, Menika, but it was a strong day for the market. Let's just do a quick recap before we go to our experts for final thoughts. As Menika said, the Nifty is going to defend 79.50 and going to hold 79.50. It was a broad-based buying day today, really, except for IT, a couple of IT names which were down.
That too, just a couple actually.
Couple of IT names, yeah. But apart from that, really broad-based buying. BHEL, Hindalco, Z Entertainment. So from different sectors, we had individual names doing quite well. Larsen & Toubro and ICICI really have been the two big support points for the market for the last couple of days. And today also, both these stocks were up quite a bit. You can add HDFC also to the list. That stock also was up quite a bit. PSU banks did well, so PNB and State Bank of India were in the green. And of course, you had stocks like Maruti, Tata Motors. So autos also had a good day. Apart from that, a couple of other names that stand out. Tata Steel was up about 2%. And Tata Motors was up about 2% as well. So these were some names that did well. On the way down, of course, as Menika said, only a couple of IT names really, and that too only Tech Mahindra is the only one which stands out, Menika, down about 2.5%. The rest were more or less flat to slightly negatively biased.
Yeah, Wipro, I think minor, very, very minor in that sense. But let's get back to our guests. If we have 30 seconds to talk a little bit about what's, you've been highlighting, and we've been talking about banks, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank. Are you expecting any disappointments, from the earnings season, Dilip, that might tarnish the kind of, sort of move up in stock prices we've seen over the last few days in the financial sector specifically?
Well, I think in the near term, as we run into the earnings season, the private sector banks will still continue to do well. And I think despite the fact that the credit growth is very conspicuously slowing down, the private sector bank still appears to be the better pick. I think as far as the PSU banks are concerned, maybe the asset quality fear will still play out. And I think the overall parameters, whether it's NII growth or credit growth, will still remain very muted for all these, for the PSU banks. So not too much of disappointment on the private sector banks, rather they probably will play out as per the expectation. But PSU banks probably will remain muted or maybe a little below the expectation.
Right.
How about IT, Dilip? Infosys coming out tomorrow. Citi came in with a downgrade on Infosys that spooked a lot of IT stocks yesterday. But a lot of fund managers we speak to, including Vetri just now, seem to think that IT and technology has a long way to go from here.
Sure. Senthil, I think as far as the Infosys is concerned, maybe, we are factoring in a 5% QOQ growth and maybe about 4.5-5% bottom line growth. Maybe we are slightly ahead of the street. But all said and done, I think the IT still remains a sector to be watched, to be a part of the portfolio, and especially the front lines, whether it's Infosys, TCS in particular, and Wipro, all three of them it's a must. What we really think is that on a relative valuation basis, if we were to compare IT with any other sector, other sectors are really trading a lot more expensive than IT. And IT with a high ROE, with a good free cash, I think there's still merit a look. So even if it corrects a bit for whatever reasons, I think it should definitely be added as a part of the portfolio pick.
Sudarshan, the Nifty at the end of the day did make a newer low 78.15 compared to 78.41 that it bounced back from previously. The mid cap index did not. Do you get a sense that maybe mid caps could outperform from here on, as we have seen today as well?
Yes, I get a sense, but not because of the fact that the mid caps index held on to its earlier lows. That's to me, that's not so significant. Charts for a lot of mid caps suggest a base building exercise that was going on during the last correction is over, and some of them are willing to go much higher. So in that sense, perhaps that is what was reflected in the index movements also. It's quite possible that if the markets continue their rally, mid caps would do much better. My worry is that traders and investors must be able to distinguish between mid caps which they should buy and the ones they should not buy.
So help us distinguish them, Sudarshan.
I don't know, Sendil, which is why I never trade in mid caps. I just stay with the blue Nifty 50.
Okay, but you did say that there were some charts that were looking like they bottomed out or had built a base. So give us the names of some of them that also look attractive.
Well, generally all the PSU banks, and they are mid caps, all the PSU banks have given a sense that they are building a base and coming out of it. That is reflected in the bank index also. Among the mid caps that are doing the same thing, for example, Reliance Capital among the financials is giving the same sense. The same sense is coming in a very different company, JP Power, where the lows are being held on to and minor gains are coming, which means that if the stock actually begins to move up, a lot of headroom is available. So the same thing is happening with Motherson Sumi, where a correction seems to be getting over now.
Dilip, a word on Z Entertainment, the big gains that we have seen in today's trade, 5% higher.
Well, I think surely it appears that there was some amount of buying in Z today, and that probably could be one of the reasons. But all said and done, I think Z has, there's every reason to bet behind Z. I think overall the macro factors are also changing for Z in a much better way. And I think if one were to see their balance sheet a little more closely, I think the kind of cash flows that they're generating at the moment, they only seem to be increasing by every quarter. So that also is a very positive news. And we actually have a buy on Z. And we think that even from the current levels, maybe we can see a level of around 350 to 360.
And Dilip, a stock specific call on Tech Mahindra after the 8% correction over the last 2 days?
What we understand is that there has been a good amount of selling in Tech Mahindra. So maybe the vertical rise that it has seen without any serious correction. So probably now it's following the normal process of any other stock, which has to get corrected after such a rapid rise. But I think Tech Mahindra, maybe it can still correct a little more. But certainly it's a stock which you should have, and maybe another 3 to 5% correction will give a very good opportunity to buy Tech Mahindra even from the current levels, from the slightly lower levels. And maybe one can expect that even from here on a year-on-year basis, one can get 30 to 35% appreciation from those levels.
No,
So
we
that
didn't.
should-
Sorry, we didn't recap the mid-cap space, and worth mentioning that I think the two top-performing stocks in the mid-cap space today were NCC and Gujarat NRI Coke. I just wanted to put that in.
Yeah, and what was interesting
13%
was
up on Gujarat NRI
high
Coke,
beta has been
15%
doing
up
well,
on
Menika,
NCC.
of late. Even on days the market's not doing well. GMR Infra, for example, was up 5% today, is up 20% for the week.
Yeah.
And almost similar is the case with JP Associates and
Unitech
Unitech
was
as
up
well.
5% as well
Yes.
today. RCom is up 5%. IRB is up 5% today. PFC up about 5% today. JP Power up 4.5% today. All these stocks did very, very well in trade today. Of course, led by NCC and Gujarat NRI Coke. BHEL and L&T have been sort of powering ahead.
Yeah.
You know, dramatic difference in the quality of both those companies, but powering ahead over the last 3 days.
So Darshan, talking of shares that are powered ahead, we know that Asian Paints has always been a favorite of yours, but it wasn't just Asian Paints that did well among paints. Shalimar, Berger, do you track them?
I track them, but just as a chance, Asian Paints was buying in our buy list yesterday afternoon when I was talking with you.
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't go for Shalimar Paints. It's also low volume, not liquid. Berger Paints has been doing well, and it's probably in the same class as Asian Paints, although of course the mid-cap and large-cap distinguishing is there.
Sudarshan, a word on GMR Infra. I know you won't trade mid caps, but is GMR in a different category? Because it's been one stock which has been remarkably strong. Even on the day the market was falling, it was up 5 or 6%.
No, Anuj, it was 37 rupees a few weeks ago and it is 21 rupees now. I don't call that remarkably strong. Please don't mind that.
No.
But yes, right. But yes, in the recent days, yes, it has been much better. You know, anything that can come from 37 to 21 to 16, and then from 16 it went to 21. It's a speculative stock, but after all those caveats, it is, if you are a speculator, it's worth buying.
Dilip, last question then to you. We head into earnings season tomorrow. The frenzy will start. What are you betting on? Sectors, stocks that will exceed expectations over the next 3 weeks?
So I think the private sector banks probably we are expecting will perform better. I think the cyclicals will continue to disappoint. I think the PSUs probably will more or less will remain muted or neutral. And I think as far as the capital goods sector is concerned, probably they'll be looking more for statements from the management as to what is the kind of activity they are seeing in that field. But otherwise, I don't think that they are really going to perform all that well, save of course Larsen & Toubro, where the expectations are going to be good. And we think that probably the first quarter was more of an aberration and a lot of correction that was required to be done has been done in the first quarterly results. So Larsen & Toubro probably will meet or maybe exceed the expectation. So I think that broadly is what we are looking at. And as far as pharma is concerned, I think it will continue to deliver good double-digit growth at the bottom line. And I think more important, once again, what is the kind of outlook that they will be talking about?
Dilip, thank you so much for joining us. Sudarshan, thank you so much for joining us. Slipping into a break. And if you missed this, Infosys is going to come out with numbers tomorrow and we're going to be...
Surprise!
And that kicks off